I'm Osskari, as we heard Josh say so expertly. I'm here with
Mini.
and
Robbie XD.
all right, let's just get into it. We've got time to explain everything. So we're playing on Explorer. We're gonna play lock on aim on for real gamers. And thanks to the PS5, we can play with a save, and it doesn't really hinder us. Oh yeah, before we start, we need the incentive, which
You need the
the
incentive.
custom incentive, yeah.
So we had a costume incentive. There were two options: Pirate or Western. Western got $155. Pirate got 190. So you'll be playing
Wow.
as Pirate today.
All right. Okay, so timer starts when I skip the cinematic. So 3, 2, 1.
Let's go!
All right. So this is the Lost Legacy, which is kind of a standalone mini sequel to Uncharted 4. The same engine, everything. And yeah, but what it does have over Uncharted 4 is that it's not 4 hours long.
Don't get me wrong,
Even
decent technique
getting all
on
the
the lift.
treasures.
but I'd like my Ganesh back.
Speaking of treasures,
Please.
here's one. You have to get this one,
Fine.
No matter what.
A
no
for
matter
effort,
what.
kid.
Here it is. But yeah, this game came out in 2017, and this is the PS5 version. So it came out on PS4, and it had horrific loads. Like each time you skip a cutscene, it'd be like a good minute of loads. But the PS5 has no load screen. It's not even the new game load. It shows a load screen. So I don't even know they have the load screen in there anymore.
There's not a lot of differences between PS4 and PS5 either, but there's one big one.
Yes. You have double the frames, even like quadruple the frames if you have the good setup. So we're playing on 60 FPS, 2K. PS4 is locked at 30. Well, I say locked at 30 max. 1080, but you can switch on the go here up to 4K 30 FPS or 1080p 120 FPS if you have set up for that. So, oh, I got the good pause there. So this game has like crazy impressive
Somewhere to be.
transitions between gameplay and cinematics. So the visual cue for that one is like the guard has like a pretty flat expression, and then the cinematic starts when he has like a smug grin on his face. That's the only tell, really. Yeah, the beginning of this is pretty slow, but the game's pretty. Another important thing in these games is restart checkpoints. And the same principle applies with like queues and stuff. Gotta know where the checkpoints are.
Off to a great start.
There's one member of our community that goes through all the checkpoints, just pauses at random times,
Yeah.
resets, saves 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, we're gonna do like we're gonna try to do the game as close to what I would do in a normal attempt, but we do use in-game time, which, removes all the loads, and even if you pause the game, it removes all the, like, pause time as well, so, like you.
Pink.
Places Pink Lotus, that's you. So yeah, we use in-game time, which means that, there's like the PS4 and the PS5 are on par, technically, even though the PS4 is like, RTA is like, has like a good 40 minutes of load or something. Okay, now we're getting some more action. Treasure number 2 coming up. there's 68 treasures in this game, which is like a good number. Uncharted 1 has 63, 2 and 3 have 100, and 4 probably has 100 as well, or something, but I feel like 68 is a good in between.
I've got you now.
Right, you just take out one guy, and then these guys do their thing. And
You're late,
here's Nadine,
Fraser.
our partner,
I see you
Brian.
too.
She's really good at fighting. Demonstrate. There you go.
The same Nadine who was our enemy in the 4th game.
Yeah. Vinny, do you want to explain why I just put the game on crushing
on.
difficulty?
I'll give you a
So there's a difference between Explorer and Crushing. Of course, Explorer is you play the game as you would like watch a movie, like no difficulty at all. Crushing, it's hard.
boost. Thank you.
So being on Crushing means you have less reaction time, which makes these slides faster than on Explorer, so it saves. That one alone, I think you said saves 2 seconds.
That's just off the top of my head, but I don't think maybe someone has timed it. I haven't timed it.
So throughout the game, we will move it from Explorer to Crushing to Explorer,
This way.
depending on which section you're in. So if you're in a fight section, you would be on Explorer because that's easiest and fastest. On movement, you would go with Crushing.
Yep. It's crazy how fast sliding is, because I only started switching difficulties like 10 days ago-ish, and
Where to now?
the difference in the speed on the slides is like, I probably saved like 2 seconds on that like 10-meter long slide. Okay, so I guess we can go into movement while we're
Just exploring our
running
options.
around.
Sit tight.
Rob, do you want to take movement?
Wow.
Oh God. So basically, jump roll is the fastest speed for moving. The Optimus way of doing it. That's pretty much all I know.
Right.
Oh, I'm getting a lot of feedback on that one.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, shit!
So yeah, jump rolling is the thing. I'm just holding. Oh wow, I've never jumped over that. I'm just holding circle with my index finger, claw gripping, and
Good deal.
and mashing X. Or you don't have to mash, just like a light mash. And it looks silly, but this is a common thread throughout all the series. Is
There's some cheap
jumping around
supplies
is
if you want
pretty
'em.
fast.
Always this talkative old job. Yeah.
Or you can do it like me. Hold the thumb on the circle and just move it. The X button.
Yeah, I mean that.
Depends on what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I claw grip everything,
One less
so
problem.
claw gripping is the best.
It's just above us. See?
So lock picking is another
It wasn't.
mini game in this game.
This will just
Is
take a moment.
I don't know. It's not interesting. Just like a thing you have to do. This one is kind of interesting though, because you can
There's one.
decide not to do it, and if you wait for a bit, then Nadine will do this, or you can speed it up
Or that works.
by actually
It's fine
doing
on
it, picking
disc.
2 of the 3 pins. Sometimes you get messed up in the menu when you're,
It's like walking
if
through
it's
an
still
empty
auto-saving, you can't access
He's
any
been
of
a
the
busy
like
boy. How much you
save and
thought
load and
was
restart things.
enough to keep his little insurrection going for quite some time.
And you may have noticed with the pirate costume we have the pirate hook on, which is really good.
I'll just borrow this. Fraser. Mm-hmm. Come here. That looks promising.
So we're now in
Not for long.
Asav's penthouse apartment thingy,
What was
who's
that
the
meant?
main
Western
bad guy of
Ghats,
this
Western
game.
Earth territory. Shit. No, it's all right. Nothing we didn't already know.
A race for the treasure, as always.
Yeah. I'm gonna be escaping here after I do this.
Oh, missed it. Careful.
And we'll get a chance to explain combat movement. When we're in combat, we don't want to jump and roll.
We need to get across.
Just gonna do some running. Like, I love it that happens. And in this, a lot of times you can like run off ledges, and sometimes you'll grab the ledge, and sometimes it'll do this, where you just like fall off. And if you can fall off, then it's usually faster. But that first one is kind of annoying. Sometimes you just want to fall off. But as you can see, that we're going much sprinting in combat. I'm still on crushing, so I could actually die at the end of this, but the checkpoints in this game are really good, so it's not a big deal to die.
There are encounters and checkpoints, so encounters start the whole thing again, but you get checkpoints throughout the encounter, which goes off of how many enemies you kill. And
Yeah, you don't want to restart encounter. Not a good thing. This part is kind of like open. There's like different paths you can take, but I think this one is the fastest one. This is the one everyone does. I go by that. Can't be bothered to do my own research. Now we're coming to the end of this, and we're gonna get introduced to the car, which it's funny how the car is only there for 2 chapters, but it's like kind of the deepest part of the movement. Cartech. I coined it.
Yep.
Now we're in chapter 3, which is like, now we're done with the intro. We're into the meat of it. And as always with Uncharted games, there's no, you never go like the normal path. The normal path always breaks down and you have to do some silly
parkour.
Yep. Still here. Great. Just checking.
So seeing as this is basically an extension of the 4th game, we also have the rope in this game.
Nope.
It will come in handy later. But
It's a control thing.
in general, it's just like a nice added feature to the platforming.
Let's just enjoy the serenity, shall we?
And you might have noticed, if you play this game before,
Got a dumb question.
so
much for
that I'm
How do you know
the rope prompts say
It
R2
would
on
have
them.
turned up in a museum or
I'm
something by now,
One of
right?
those
Plus, I haven't
gamers
seen any
who
Hoysala exhibitions.
played Uncharted 1 a lot,
never even
so
heard of the
I use
Hoysala
L1,
for this
R1
job.
to aim and shoot.
Yeah, well, that's the fault of their last
And
king, really.
I don't do that with
Ram,
any other
Reckless,
games, only the Uncharted
flaunted
games.
his empire's wealth, built a new capital to
Okay, here's our car.
Don't mind us.
Pretty fun to drive around in, and
Give me a
we're
second.
going to be doing a lot of, there's a lot of treasures in these chapters when we have the car. We're going to be doing a lot of jumping out of it and jumping into it. So there's 2 ways to get into the car. You can press triangle just to like get in it normally, but it's faster to jump at it, and if you jump at it the right way, then you just like get put in it with a quicker animation.
Oh, look at this.
And then you can jump out of it, and you can jump into cutscenes like this. And we have this winch, which we use it just to open doors in this game.
Right. That should do the trick. Fraser, move! It's an ambush. Shit. Take
And here's,
cover.
you can see lock-on aim.
Thanks for the heads up.
It's pretty nice.
Are you aimbotting?
Yes, literally, aimbotting. But it's built into the game, so it's fine. And this is what you're gonna see sometimes is you can open the. That's a crash. No, okay.
Right.
Game stopped there for a bit.
You were about to pull
So, whenever you pick up treasures, there's like a pop-up thing that appears like, oh, press options to inspect your treasure, and then you open up the treasures menu, which is a sub-menu of the main menu,
Figured you'd be more of a leave no trace type when it comes to Indian runes.
But yeah, you don't want to go in there because you can't
Sentimentality in
restart
this one.
checkpoint in there, and
I
a
need
lot of the
both.
time we want to restart checkpoint after getting treasures. But there's like a small period of time in the during the animation of picking up where
All right.
the
Let me see
treasure
what we're
pops up
talking
on
about.
screen, but the
Oh, right.
button prompt
Sentimentality
does
in
not
this
appear on
line of
screen,
work?
and if we pause during that, then
What? They're just
we get the normal menu and we can restart checkpoint. So
Yeah, they are.
doesn't affect
Primates and lemurs.
the
Okay,
run
well, I'll look it up.
normally because we use in-game time and
There we
the
go.
timer is paused, but it affects RTA, so I'm going to be trying to
Made it.
do that as much as possible. Get the normal menu up.
Stop.
Benny, do you want to explain what we're going to do here and what we potentially could have done here?
So this is where gate skip is. I think I hinted at it earlier, but this is the big difference between PS4 and PS5, and that is, in PS4 you can skip this gate. So if this was PS4, even in the All Treasures run, we will skip this. But when you go past this gate, the world isn't loaded in, and if you go there on PS5, you crash every single time. So that's why we do the fight, and
Damn it.
I think it's a 1 minute difference.
Yeah, give or take. But thankfully there's like a spawn kill spot good for these guys, so that's convenient. One more guy over here. There he is.
Did you see?
Oh, pants.
What?
Maybe
Did you
later.
see the aimbot?
Yeah, I use the aimbot. It's convenient.
There. Just like I planned. Yeah, that's good.
So you can imagine the time save would be like, instead of having to do that fight and open this door, we just like flip through it relatively quickly. And the way you do it is pretty fun. You like drive into the door, and just before you drive into it, you jump out of the car, and then you hold circle.
I'm sure you
And
are,
when you hold
honey.
circle in this game, you like refuse ledge grab, so you just like fly into the door, and then you fall down between the door and the car, and you pop through. But what ends up happening is that the game crashes.
It's a lot
So
of ground to cover.
Yeah.
True, but I like your
There's
way of
some
style.
movement tech we haven't gone over, and that's because we're not using it in
Let's
this
have a look at
run.
the map. Okay,
Basically, you
let's see.
can,
We are right
I don't know
about
what
here.
the specified term is, but melee launching. You
Check out that
melee the
tower.
wall,
Let's
and then
read the
aim, and then you basically launch. This was introduced on the PS5 because of the refresh rate, I guess.
yeah,
So you can skip that map tutorial by going out of the car and going up
Okay.
the
I'll
slidey
keep an eye
bit,
out for assault.
which you normally cannot do.
Not that
yeah.
I'm too worried.
Doesn't save
about
that
it,
much
you know.
time, and it's
You should be.
kind
You
of
won't
annoying to
have the
do.
advantage of surprise again.
And I've like
Didn't think he was
I've just
expecting
like
much.
ignored that trick
Wait,
pretty much.
Was that a compliment? That
Yeah,
sounded
so
like
we
a
don't do
compliment.
it, but it's pretty funny to see
Guys are idiots, but
like a
assaults-
launch,
We just need to stay the hell away from him.
kind of like a thing with each game in the series has like
Look there. One of us
weird, silly glitches,
Clear
and
out here.
they're all different in their own way,
Interesting circular motif.
but they all have
Like
one.
the disc. This should do the trick.
And I guess the what do we call it? Aim launching is the one for in this game.
There.
Yeah, I don't know what we call it even. We're not very good at coming up with names in this community. Everything's just like
Okay.
oh, we're launching after we aim, so I guess it's aim launching.
We walk in the air.
It's airwalking. Right, so chapter 4 is pretty interesting. It's this like big open world thing. There's a bunch of treasures. There's the 3 of these towers. First one. We're gonna be going to each of them because in chapter 5 there's one treasure at the very start where we can't get there if we do a skip, which we do in any percent. So we have to the towers. But I mean, there's strats in these towers we don't see in any other category, so it's kind of cool that we're doing it.
You boys really don't want me shooting from down here.
Speaking of the towers, there's a middle tower in this spot. You could see on the map earlier, but if you go there, you will map out the area with 15 locations. So 12
Follow me.
Yeah.
tokens and 3 towers where you need to get the water running.
Yeah. And the tokens, if you played this game and you know about the tokens, and you're like, oh, there's 3 treasures behind the tokens. We'll talk about that later. This the little fight strat. It's not a skip. I almost said skip. It's not a skip. But you can just like go here, and as long as you get to this thing before anyone spots you, then
Oh shit! They've made
then
it.
you like you can just keep on returning this thing.
I got it.
And this guy tries to annoy me. It's annoying. You can do like crowd control with a gun. Sometimes it's annoying when the enemies get too close to you and they like stun lock you in this like melee
Glad I didn't
thing.
listen to you.
Sometimes you can roll out of it, sometimes you cannot.
Don't have to ask twice. Excuse me.
Yeah, and sometimes
Passing through.
they
Sorry.
roll away and they just like
You all
come
right?
back to you and like continue their stuff.
Okay, guess this is
Small little skip over here. You can jump on there. Not like normally you're supposed to like do some slow climbing, but you just stand on that thing over there.
here.
Fine.
What are you willing to bet?
You okay
Oh.
for a quick donation?
Some
Yeah, I
kind
was
of
just
tea?
gonna throw it over to you.
Oh, lovely. Of course, I butt in right before you do it. All right. Well, yeah, good morning, everyone. We just got a $5 donation from Hutch, who says, so many beautiful people I can see on my screen that I just can't contain myself. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Good luck, Oz. Arguably the best Uncharted eyes emoji.
Now what?
And yeah, thank you, Hutch, for that
Now I guess
$5.
we
And I would just
turn
like to
this
let you know
back.
that their $5 going to save the children
safe?
is enough
You know
to
that
provide
treasure hunting
education
is not a
supplies
good
for
look for
any
this
child
place, right?
fleeing combat
Mother's
zones,
being a mercenary.
giving them the tools they
Difference is when
need
I put
to
a pin on
resume
the
their
map,
education
I know
after
what's going to
displacement.
next.
So yeah, thank you a lot for that $5. It's going to a great cause.
Yeah, thank you, Hutch. Long-time member of the community.
Did you hear that?
You feel that?
Sad to not see you this year.
Yeah. So this is the first of the 3 towers. It's cool how they did these. They're all like, the floor plan is all the same, and they all have this puzzle.
Look at
So
that.
you can do the towers in any order, and the game will like, it'll always give you the easiest puzzle to the hardest puzzle,
Holy
and it'll
hell.
always give you the same
There's a
cutscene in
massive
order.
relief
So
carved into the side of that mountain.
the clever little like game design trick.
Suppose I should have asked about the dregs before I took the job.
Not much to tell.
I know.
yeah, so this-
Well, Sam less so.
The way we do this chapter is we go straight to this tower, then we get a bunch of treasures on the way to the next tower,
Sounds good.
rinse repeat for the 3rd tower, and then we make our way to the exit. Normally I would have put it on crushing there, but there's so little sliding and
So,
the checkpoint
waterfalls and mountains.
is kind of awkward. You have to like put into account as well as like how convenient is the checkpoint, where you're gonna change the difficulty
Never
again.
understood the appeal of people
Uh,
like Assad.
The most convenient
Easy.
checkpoints are like
Finds men who are weak and
where we have
offers them
cutscenes or
power.
cinematics.
Gives them purpose.
Sometimes
Purpose.
it's like
More like bullshit.
over here I
to me.
would have to like change it before getting to this encounter, and there's no
How'd you
like
get
good
tangled?
hard cut to do that. Now we get to see the perks
goes
of
everything.
Explorer. Just gonna like say hello to these guys. They have rockets, it's fine. I just want to open this box. There we go, it's a treasure. And we're just gonna get out of here. See you guys
Hang
later.
on. Way ahead of you.
And the car doesn't want to go forward. Okay. Got caught on something. I love that invisible wall over there. I always cut the corner too tight.
We've lost them. She who fights and drives away lives to fight
Okay, I'm
another
gonna
day.
remember not to get this treasure later because I'm gonna get it now.
Pick it back up.
When you
I'll be right back.
okay, thank you, Chloe, for this.
Uh,
When you
Be right back.
you come through this area later on, specifically this small part of the area you come through.
As I was saying.
So normally we would
Oh, you were.
skip
What were
picking
you
up
saying?
2 treasures, but I'm just gonna skip one of
How'd you
them.
get tangled up with Asav anyway?
One of them, the one I picked up is
Rather
like
not go into it.
it's arguable
Certainly
whether or not
seems to
it's
have a thing for you.
faster to do it
Don't
now or
remind
later.
me.
But the other one
Proved
is
useful at the time, but
inarguable. It's much faster to get it
One sec.
later on.
wait, what?
She really likes to grab that ledge, even though I don't want her to. It's fine. Yeah, there you go. That's the good pause. The treasure pops up, but we don't get the list.
How'd you get tangled up with the Sav anyway?
Here we will get a conversation we will never finish.
Yeah.
Certainly. Shit.
Normally when you're playing this game, you're like, oh, they're having a conversation. Let's drive around for a bit. But I'm jumping out of the car so much. They have this like feature where they try to like leave the conversation and then pick it up naturally. Like these. Oh, what were we talking about? Oh, hang on a sec. I gotta go do something. But if you're jumping out of the car like every 5 seconds, sometimes they like get stuck on the same line for extended periods of time. It's pretty funny.
I think we had a moment yesterday where you jump out, come back in, what we're talking about, and then in the dialogue there's, oh, what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And sometimes it's like,
Okay.
what were we talking about? Hang on a sec, I gotta do something. And it's like, they don't even get to start the line again. Maybe he's gonna be nice and pull this one open for us. He always does that with the second tower you enter. I guess, well, one of them doesn't even have a door, so the second tower you enter that has a door, which there are only 2 of them.
There's a piece of card tech for pulling up the doors.
Yeah. Like, you reverse and then you like turn the wheel and like a wiggle around. That's supposed to open it faster. I just do it because it's supposed to. I don't actually know if it does it faster. Oh, here we got the pitons. Normally in the
They've
90%,
left their climbing gear.
once you get into this chapter, you come here immediately and then you do a skip to the next chapter. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Correction.
Found by
Our
actually
climbing gear.
Oven Donkey, who was a speedrunner of these games, and then he got hired by Naughty Dog to do QA. And then when this game came out, we didn't really have a lot of skips. Until one day he messaged the main Discord and it's like, hey, I found this while I was working on the game and we didn't have time to patch it out, so here you go. And it's a skip, like, it's 2 skips that skip like,
That's a reasonable request.
like,
You think I'm weak?
it's like a good 30 minutes or something. It's pretty wild.
Down we go.
But yeah, that was that encounter. Pretty easy.
Oh, damn.
Don't care about those guys.
We made it.
I think that's a trophy actually, to get through there without
That statue.
without alerting anyone. So there you go, if you want to do that.
Well, I'll be going to hell. That's
Here's
elaborate.
another trophy if you
Oh,
do
shit.
these puzzles
Statue
without
moved again.
messing up. Oh, so just cranking out the tutorials for you.
Ooh, that was close.
I like these puzzles, but I don't
I
know.
think
They're
I
not
did
even
it.
puzzles to me anymore.
on
They're
over.
just like just doing the thing.
Oh, for goodness sake.
3 statues.
And yeah, there's 3 of them with increasing complexity.
Your own voice, Salar's sons. But I like your descriptions better.
And the way they work,
Near miss there.
I guess I can go into that. Like, the statues are on 3, they increment every time you jump on a platform, and they're on a cycle of 3. So every 3
Right. Got it.
iterations,
over.
they swipe. Some of them do like a loop,
Figured we had one
but
more to go.
yeah, you can like advance the cycle by jumping back and forth. Then you're doing 2 jumps, and they're doing cycles of 3, so it loops around.
No shade.
There's a lot happening in this one if you do it this fast.
fresh air.
Less noise.
Less noise, yes. They're a bit noisy. Yeah, every time we do this one of these puzzles, there's 3 of them.
Here we go. This will be a picture of an X.
The first one has no counter rotation. This one has 1 piece of counter rotation, and then the last one has 2. And
Right.
the orientation of each piece
Well,
is
what's to say it's not different
is
this time?
random, so it's
What if
every time it's different.
Fire or something.
So instead of having
With me.
I'm totally
Like-
messing with you.
like most of my brain to do is we just have a method, and I just do the order of them in a specific order, and then they line up. Sometimes you can get lucky, and the parity works out so that when you orientate the last one, the
Another waterfall.
counter rotation
2 out of 3 now.
works out, so you don't have to do the last one.
Ursula went to an absurd amount of trouble to hide the tusk.
Go over to some
Well, the
messages while we watch
was-
this.
Yeah, sure, thank you. Okay, well, I just wanted to say, Babe Wake Up, new incentives just dropped. Yeah, we just enabled some new incentives for the upcoming days of the marathon. For the rest of Sunday's incentives, which is today, and all of Monday's incentives just got enabled. So head on over to donations.esamarathon.com or click the donate button below. You can have a look. We've got everything from Worms Armageddon voice, like accent choice. You can choose between a bunch of different voices for the worms, such as Angry Scots, French Lover, stuff like that. We also now have the Dark Sassy bonus run. There's a bonus game, Plushie from the Sky, where we'll have an extra game in the marathon if you meet that. And yeah, we've also got a bunch of stuff for Stream 2. You can name all the Pokemon in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and stuff like that. So go ahead and get your donations in below and start picking some cool incentives. That's all from me, thank you.
Alright,
Certainly seemed to
so
have a thing for you.
we're approaching
Remind me.
the
Proved useful
most
at the time, but
interesting
that's
part of this like first half of the run. So we mentioned earlier a thing called the Hoysala
What were we
tokens.
talking about again?
Normally
You were
what's
talking
supposed to
about a
happen is
star.
there's
Oh, right. A source.
not only
Interesting me.
like, I don't
It's
know,
just useful
20 treasures in this chapter, but there's also like
You coming with?
13, I think.
My legs.
Rightio.
I don't actually remember Hoysala tokens. And the tokens are usually more annoying to get. But as you might have realized when I don't even remember how many they are, we don't have to get them. So here's the Hoysala
What is that
temple,
place?
where our treasures are. And normally we would have to go through this door in here on the
What
right.
is it?
Monkeys.
To open that we need all the tokens. But I think we're just gonna do this instead.
There's also a ring there, I think.
Yeah,
Basically.
it's in here.
Oh,
Or the first token is in here, yeah. Oh yeah, the ring. Yeah, I forgot about that. Get that for getting all the tokens as well. I'm sorry, I have to put it on 30 FPS for a little bit. It hurts my eyes. But the collision doesn't let you out of bounds if you don't turn on 30 FPS. So yeah, we're just like shimmying around the outside of the area. Here's the little mural in the center of the room. Make our way around.
so what the ring does
Yeah.
is that when you do it casually, you get all the Hoysala tokens, and then you find this ring, which you can turn off and on with a function, but what it does is it vibrates every time you get close to a treasure. So if we did not know where all the treasures were, it would be a really nice help.
Yeah. So now we're back in bounds on the other side of the door. And we have our friendly monkeys over here.
Hey, look who's here. Huh?
And let me just grab these 3. And not get any of the tokens. It's pretty good. It's like the reason why I chose to run this in the first place. And it's like, I want to say, I don't actually know how much time it saves, but it's like an easy 10 minutes at least.
No hitchhikers. Shoo.
Oh,
Probably
you're
more.
no fun.
What, you want them shitting all over the seat?
Look safe.
Smells safe. Let's go.
And this game has like it has a couple of skips, but they're all like peppered throughout. Kind of.
Hey,
It's
wanna
funny.
do a bit of sightseeing?
Every time
Right
you're like,
behind you.
wait, wasn't I supposed to do a skip? It's like, oh yeah, it's coming up. Now we're gonna make our way to the third tower. While
How'd you
picking
get
up some
tangled
stuff.
up with the Sav anyway? Purpose?
Rather not go into it.
You certainly seem to have a thing for you.
This chapter's
Don't
like
remind
far and
me.
away the
Three teams
longest,
at a time.
even
Hey,
without
I'll be
getting
right
the
back.
tokens. Never mind. Whenever I try to jump into the car whenever I can, and
we
sometimes
were talking
games like,
about...
You were
Ah,
saying
I
something
can do
about a
that today.
Sav?
Yeah.
and you can't be
So
too
anyway,
close to the car.
I
If you're
saw
too
this
close to the car when you
interest
jump,
in me.
you
It was just
you
useful
do like
leverage at
will
the
jump
time.
over the car. That's
do
not really
tell.
that good.
Rather not.
Maybe over drinks?
Not enough alcohol in the world.
I'm just going to take a look around.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
Oh yeah, I just realized with the dialogue, it happens in Uncharted 4 too. There's an open area with a card too.
Yeah.
Hey,
If you
just
hit
so
a
you
bump,
know, Nathan
it
Drake
will
is no longer in the picture,
react
so
in the
don't worry
same
about
way
it.
as
Yeah.
if you
I
exited
had
the
my
car and
concerns.
entered, and like, oh, what were we talking about, even though it happened
I'm not one
a
to look
second
a
ago.
gift horse in the mouth. Especially with everyone
Wait a
else.
So you would always get these, what we're talking about. So anyway, every 2 seconds maybe.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I don't think they do that in this game.
Okay.
What was
So
I
we
talking
were
about?
talking-
Oh yeah, donations.
Oh right. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that segue.
Oh, actually, let me do this first.
Okay, go on.
So the third tower is the like has a skip, which is pretty cool. We don't get to see this in any other category. Normally, what we would do is in this area we'd have to fight all these guys, and then there's like this puzzle in this area, which is kind of annoying. I remember doing it when the game first came out, and we didn't have any skips, and I remember it being annoying. But we don't have to do that. We just like we can come over here and kind of walk up the wall,
Kiss your mother with that mouth.
and once we get over here, we can jump over this rock, hit this death barrier, and also a checkpoint.
So anyway,
Yeah, now you can go ahead, Josh.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Sorry, it was too good an opportunity. All right, we just got a $15 donation from Twan, or Twain, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
It's Twan.
Come on.
Twain, okay.
Let's get this over with.
Shout outs to these good Uncharted kids on my screen. Quick question, what is Osskari's favorite found legacy? The lost one is lost, mate, let it go.
You hurt.
Yeah, I'm not gonna answer that one.
Dignity.
Thank you, Twan.
They put their $15 towards the Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 any % incentive for Defeat Aero Knight. I won't pretend to know what that means, but I'm guessing it means an extra boss fight or something. So yeah, thank you.
And now that's 3.
Okay, so that's the third tower done,
You know,
and now
I've had my
all we
fair
need to do
share of
is
screw-ups.
get some treasures and leave the area, and then we're back to
I'll do it
linear
right.
time, which
No one does love.
is kind of jarring when you're like you're in this area for so long, and they have to design the area so it's kind of like an open thing with like little small areas like the towers. But then when you're done with this, it's like you get this
Last one back to
elaborate
dinner.
I brought him
platforming section where you're like climbing these huge statues, and you're like, oh yeah, this is what this game is.
do you think it's quite on the nose how they make Chloe say it always comes in 3s after clearing 3 towers?
But she says it also in the
Yeah,
puzzle.
yeah, that's
yeah. Yeah. Oh, here's one of my favorite checkpoints. You can just and we're in the car. Pretty nice.
Why do you accept my offer?
I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, they don't get interrupted when you go off
Hear
the jumps.
that. But on the plus
Which kind
side-
of
Oh, there's a plus
the
sign?
way Uncharted 4
Oh,
does it
just a
makes
moment.
sense, where they're like, oh, we just went off a huge jump. It makes sense for us to like
What?
not just
Pick it
like
back
keep
up?
carry on our conversation like nothing.
Right.
But-
Oh, and people be right back.
A little rock.
Yeah.
As I was saying, or you were. What were we saying?
So there should be 2 more treasures, and we should be
Oh,
leaving
when
this
people
chapter
have
with
low
29,
expectations, It's much easier to take them by surprise.
because I
As
picked up
far
the
as
extra
I'm
treasure.
concerned, This business is tough enough
Usually
on
it's
your own.
28.
You have to take any advantage you can. I'm just going to take a look around.
Do what you have to do.
One is annoying. If you grab the ledge on the side, that you can't do anything. You have to drop down and
You always
get
worked
back
alone?
up.
Mostly.
How old were you when you started?
Young. Learned quickly enough I needed to let people think they were getting their way, and then I could get the upper hand.
Too subtle for me.
Sometimes the driving
always
is
preferred the
a little
drinking
annoying.
approach.
Yeah,
This
whatever
section
works, I
is
say.
the most like, or the least
I'm
annoying.
just going to take a look around.
'Cause,
Alright, bye for now.
you drive the car a couple more times towards the end, and
Thank you for your patience.
in a more like chase scenario.
Makes more sense why
And-
swords after the tusk now.
In those sections, there's a
He
lot
just
of
wanted
like
the money,
annoying
like us.
He'll use
bumps
it to
and
rally
stuff that can
people
just
to
like
his cause. Wave
stop
it in
you or
the
turn you around and stuff. The other day I got turned around like 180 degrees. I'm just like, okay,
Oh,
thank you,
yeah.
video game.
Ever
That
since
was
the
really
young
nice of
king
you.
lost to the Persians, everyone's wanted to lay claim to it.
I guess I can do a little check.
This land.
29, that's good.
Here I thought we were just going on a treasure hunt.
We are. Let men like Assad fight over it. It's none of our concern.
I don't have any like
Fighting wars was my concern
references
for a
for
time.
where my time should be,
point.
but
But you did it for the cash.
you can just like
Usually,
tell by how well
What
it's
about
going.
when you worked for Assad?
definitely a cash grab.
You
Hardly
didn't
worth
get
the
this.
trouble.
Here we go. Coming.
Oh, jumped too early. And got put out of bounds. That's good.
So that was kind of how you do the gate skip.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Let's hit
What you
pause.
want to do there is like jump into this corner and have the car push you up like
We dance?
Try not
to the
break
cutscene.
this time.
But
Sassy.
yeah, sometimes you just put out of bounds.
What the hell?
Now that's what I'm talking about.
All right, so that's chapter
Wasn't
4 done.
expecting that.
Pretty long.
You ready?
Yeah. Just, taking it all in.
So in like 30 seconds, we're gonna see the treasure that's stopping us from skipping chapter 4. We're gonna shame it.
Hard to believe it's real.
Imagine what it took to make this. The craftsmen, the engineers.
Yeah.
I wish I could
Their
run
work
like
still
Nadine, just like
stands.
jogging in front of me while I'm
They're
doing
gone.
whatever I'm doing.
Maybe their king should have used their wealth to protect his people and not make such an inviting target.
Who mentioned that this is what you do in Uncharted 4 as well?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. It's like each of the games pretty much has like, it's a rule of thumb throughout the series. You want to jump if you're not in combat,
Thomas stares down.
some way.
Okay. Ready?
It always differs
Yeah.
somewhat.
2 or 3 are probably the exception where you can choose to shoot or
For a
like
way
blind
up.
fire or jump.
Okay.
Well, in the third, it's better to probably blind fire because you get a hard landing, which is always fun.
So yeah, if we would have skipped chapter 4, we would have ended up where I picked up that last treasure. So pretty
I
substantial
apologize.
skip. And then there's one right away after that. Which we're not gonna do
Go on,
either
this way.
because
You sure it's safe?
it skips some treasures.
You keep asking me that.
One thing else we've forgotten to mention is
It's
that
definitely
even
not
though we
safe,
are
by
playing
the
on
way.
Explorer mode,
A sword.
we can pick up treasures,
You can get back up.
unlike in the trilogy.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'll catch up.
Yeah, in the first 3 games on the
Yeah. I've got you.
so when they
Right.
ported the first 3 games to PS4, they added
But
an
only because you
Explorer
said
mode,
please.
which is in this
I
game as
didn't
well.
actually.
And the Explorer mode is like in this game, just like
Is this
baby
really
mode.
where it crosses?
But they in Explorer, that's true with all the games. Is when you're an explorer, you can't pick up, or you can't get any trophies. But also in the first 3 games, the treasures don't appear, so you gotta play on easy. Which sounds like it shouldn't be a problem, but it's weirdly difficult sometimes.
They're doing great, China.
Especially when you have to do airwalks and throw the grenade just at the right place to not die, but also get
Knock on wood.
knocked out of your
Doc will see him up here.
animation
Why's
lock.
that?
He doesn't have the stones to climb the high.
I think I see a place we can swing over to the crown. Huh?
Oh, shit! Oh,
Thank you.
hurry up and climb. I'm slipping.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about earlier when I was like, go from this like big open world to this
Easy.
crazy elaborate climbing section.
Feels more sturdy up here.
That Jesus. Ready?
All this would be skipped to 90%.
Incredible. It's our old friends, Parashurama and Ganesh.
I wish you could do this faster. Repelling. Kind of
Well, when the Hindu gods aren't off fighting demons,
annoying
then
sometimes. Like sometimes the rope behaves badly. Sometimes you hold the you hold R2 to like repel, and sometimes I feel like if you push it too quickly, she just like doesn't care and she starts swinging.
through here.
Another thing I'm doing with these like crawl spaces is that if you time your jump so that you land right in front of the entrance and hold circle to roll, then you kind of
Now
like
we're
roll
getting
into it.
somewhere.
But the crawl spaces kind of act differently
Hey,
depending on
another one
which
of
one it
these
is.
doors.
Some of
Now
them
let's see.
also let you roll within them. Some of them don't let you do
Oh,
anything.
good. This one actually works. Good. Nice to get some light. What the hell?
Jesus. This was it? Their final stand.
Wasn't enough to save their empire. But
So we're coming up to the like the one puzzle in the game you actually have to memorize. The auto puzzle, which is kind of cool. And if you want to know how to get the trophy, just watch this run and you'll be good. I think there's a trophy for like
Nadine,
doing it in the
can you
minimum
lend a hand with this
amount of
check?
moves.
Sure.
Come on, old fellow.
And I assume Aramis knows what he's doing in that category, so I just follow what he does.
Speaking of Arams, shout out to Arams,
Excuse
the
me. Sorry.
world record holder with
Pretty much everything.
pretty much everything
must
in
be
the
getting
Uncharted
close.
series.
Hopefully closer than these guys.
And while we're on it, shout out to Matt who had the opening section
So
before
how
our
does
run.
all this work?
Yeah.
Only one way to find out.
We do 4 to the right, 1, 2,
Let's
3
see what
left,
this does.
and
All right,
1,
that slid the piece
2,
away from me.
and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right,
Let's try this.
and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1,
Over you
2,
go.
3, 4, 5 to
See
the right,
what's happening.
Shadows match the murals.
1, 2
Right,
to the
so
left,
let's see if I can line them all up.
This actually looks like fun.
and then 5 right, 3 right. And that's how you do it.
How about I think that's it. You did it.
I remember spending ages on that the first time I played the game.
Here we go.
Not something you want to forget mid-run either.
It's coming loose.
I always
Grab the edge.
used to not remember how to do it, and I would always like pause the game and pull up text document mid-run. Like, oh yeah, this is here. I guess I should remember how to do this. We don't have to do it in 80%.
the tower is falling? Why is the place falling apart?
Oh, I don't know. It's in the cinematic. Like something happens. I don't remember. I haven't watched the cinematics in this game in like 3 years. I remember to put on Explorer. The most convenient place to do that. We're about to get a new skip, or not a new skip, another skip. Probably the newest skip in the runs though. Oh, well, excluding the Hoysala skip, but this one is kind of cool. This area coming up, there's gonna be like big area where you're supposed to like go down a bit and then you like
Nothing.
like go down a bit, you get attacked by this APC and then you go all the way up and you go all the way to this door. But there is this like road that the APC drives on that you're not supposed to be able to get on, but we're gonna use that to like skip a little bit. So we're just gonna do that real quick.
Wasn't there a skip in 90% right back there too?
Yeah, in 90% you end up in that area where I just, before I got into this section. And because you do a skip before that, the area's not loaded, so you can like get into this area by different methods. So this is the skip. There's like this looks like there's nothing here, but there is collision here, and if you can stand on it, which can be a bit fiddly sometimes, then you can. Nope. I'm not gonna restart the counter. That's the most fiddly bit about it, is getting to stand. Oh. Okay, good. And once you get on this one, you can jump up here. And now we're in this area we're not supposed to be in. And then we can just make our way, like we were supposed to go all the way up over here and to this door we're about to get to, but we can just take this back route and run into the door, drop down, and now we're in the next section. The treasure's still loaded, which is convenient, and the area should load about now. And it also allows us to like keep combat speed through there, which is convenient as well. But now we're gonna do the like boss fight thing, and I think I'll throw it over to Josh meanwhile.
Excellent, thank you. We just got a $10 donation from someone called X Honoris. They say, Uncharted 1 was one of the first games I got into for speedrunning back in 2015, and the Uncharted community has always been pretty neat. I could see how the community was growing over time from a handful of people to quite a large bunch of cuties. Shout out to all the Uncharted peeps. To end this off with a question, who is the best Uncharted waifu and why is it Sully?
A little. Yeah.
Good question.
on.
Please let us know in donations.
Yeah, yes, do that. Donations for best Uncharted waifu.
Slippery.
Assad is being mean to me. Okay, here we go.
You see,
I was too busy listening to the donation, so I messed up the fight, but that's okay.
chaos.
Yeah, so this is Asab,
Yeah.
the main bad guy.
Stamp
An
out
unassuming
the
guy,
weak bloodline
but-
of the young king.
Not so unassuming, we'll find out later.
Starting with you.
I mean, we'll also find out right here, like choking us out. But and you may have noticed I put it on crushing. That's because it doesn't really affect the fight. And, like, I even took some hits and it was fine, but we want that for this part, and we don't get a checkpoint until after this part. So if we don't put it on crushing, we lose like a handful of seconds just sliding down this part real slow. Right.
Can
So
I just say,
now we're gonna
we're
make
not
our way
joking about Assad.
out of this area, and when we get to the next area, that's
solid,
actually us
assuming.
backtracking
Right?
to the chapter 4 area,
That's
but
exactly what he wants.
it's kind of
Pretty sure his glasses
hard to
are an
notice
affectation.
because
To make him look
it
harmless.
was like
or
bright
smart?
when we were
Both.
there, and now it's
But he is
dark
smart.
and
He was a
raining.
doctor before he took up his course.
But it's kind of convenient actually that they put the treasures
Hey,
where they did.
you sure you're good to go?
The
Does that
treasure
ever be?
that we're gonna pick up
Need to take it
is
easy for a bit.
like one of the most out of the way ones.
Up here.
Oh, because we fell down that cinematic I skipped. We can't, like, just for this wall, we can't climb fast. Like, I guess we didn't explain it, but whenever I'm climbing, I'm just mashing X and holding a direction to go fast. But if you do that on that specific wall,
Let's
she's
get
gonna
that
be
thing
like,
open.
oh, I can't do it because I'm hurt, but she's fine now. So we don't have to worry about it. They do that in Uncharted 4 as well. Thankfully, this section is much shorter. I did put it on crushing, yeah. Because I need crushing also for this. Oh, and in that cutscene, Nadine and Chloe kind of had like
This is
a
where I get
falling
to
out of
being
sorts.
honest.
So Nadine's not with us for
Locked in the door.
a couple of minutes. Don't worry about it.
Well, Mandy's not too far.
Don't forget to pick up the treasure.
Thank you. You should just say that every time I have to pick up a treasure.
Glad I thought to fight painkillers. Here goes nothing. Slow down.
So I don't know if you can recognize it, but we have noticed like this bridge over here earlier. It's like natural bridge. Over there is where I picked up that one treasure. I'm not gonna pick it up. I already picked it up. And coming up is a nice little fight strat.
Try this way.
We reunite with the same APC, I assume. And this time we're gonna take it out,
Huh. Good.
pick up this treasure.
Oh, right. That's more like it.
We're gonna take out all the dudes and also the APC.
Oh, shit. Get down, get down.
I forgot to put it on Explorer. Pretty important, but not a bad checkpoint.
Here you can see the difference between crushing and explorer speed.
Yeah. So we're just gonna walk around here. We don't want to get run over by the APC because it hurts. Even on Explorer, it's like insta kill. And now we have the best weapon in the game. Where's the? Oh, there he is. RPG guy. So the silenced pistol headshots everyone by default. Pretty nice. One C4, 3 C4, and I want to pick up 2 more C4s.
Down for the count. Can't resist kicking the
One of them I'm gonna use right away
Yes, yes. Listen, we'll never get anywhere with these guys around. Come on.
for this truck. You can just instead of shooting them. No, okay. Sometimes the C4 just like doesn't want to get on the truck, so we have the science pistol for that. Oh.
You need a hand?
And I picked up an extra C4 for
That's
a
it.
little thing
We're
over here.
clear.
So, oftentimes in the series, the game like has some dialogue and it wants us to slow down, like walk for a bit. But if we have a grenade or C4 in Uncharted 4 Lost Legacy, then we can hold it out like this and we can run faster than the game wants us to.
What are you doing?
Like normally, when she says
Good idea.
that line, we're supposed to be like way further up.
What the hell are they doing? Taking shortcuts.
Gonna use that C4 walking thing one more time in a little bit.
Okay.
So in UC4, there is one single airwalk that I know of, in any percent.
Now I do.
Assuming this is the same engine, you could do it in Lost Legacy as well, but I don't think there's any use for it or anywhere you can do it.
No. I don't think so.
Which the airwalk is a staple in.
Yeah. Somehow there's just like a way to walk through the air in like half the games.
No.
Or there's in most of the games there's a way to walk through the air. In half the games it's useful. Right, here's a little elephant friend Dave. I'm pretty sure they're called Dave. I think actually we call every unnamed NPC in the series Dave. So hello, say hello to Dave.
Easy girl.
And we're just gonna be riding Dave for a bit. So if you want to say
Sorry,
something,
girl.
Josh, then you
We're
go
gonna
ahead.
get you out.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, I would like to, in that case, take some time to let everyone know about our wonderful prizes we have this event. We have some absolutely ridiculous ones. We have a bunch of grand prizes that are available for the entire duration of the event. I will start with the minimum donation of $50. So if you donate $50 across the course of the entire run, so if you do $10 5 times or 25 twice, you don't have to do 50 all at once. You get put in the running for these. We have 2 Nintendo Switches, which is pretty great. You know, you can play games on those. How do you like games? We also, for the retro gamers in your life or you, we have free, not 2, not 1, free RetroTink 5X Pros, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's a fantastic upscaler. I kind of wish I actually had one. You upscale all your retro games, make them look beautiful and work on modern displays and all sorts of stuff. But now we get to the crazy ones. For $75, we have, again, not 1, but 2 Steam Decks. That's Steam without an R. Not stream, Steam Decks. We have 2 of them. I don't know how we have 2, but we're giving them away. It's $75 if you want to get into the running for 1 of the 2 of those. And then we have the grand prize for a minimum $100 donation across the whole event. We have, again, not 1, but 2 PlayStation 5s. The big 5. The big white chungus. We've got 2 of them we're giving away. So yeah, get your donations in, and if you're interested in the prizes, we have lots more. Head on over to prizes.esamarathon.com. That's an easy enough URL to type in. You don't need to find a link. Just prizes.esamarathon.com. And yeah, have a big old gander at all the crazy prizes we have. Yeah, thank you, and get your donations in for Save the Children.
Oh, I've never seen Steam Deck, but I can vouch for the chunkness of the PS5. Sitting here next to me.
Yes, there's one in front of me. I forgot about that. Can you hold it up? No, please don't.
No. Trust me, it is chunky, and it's the disc version as well, so it's extra chunky. If you win that PS5, you can even play this game.
Maybe it's been a while, but
And Uncharted 4.
smaller than
Yeah.
I remember.
And all the other Uncharted, except a couple of them. Right, so a couple of treasures to clean up here. Is it? Oh, here it is. Sometimes it's kind of like you can be standing right on top of the treasure and you're like, okay, I'm standing on top of it. Pressing triangle should work, but it's also kind of based on your camera angle, whether or not she wants to pick it up. So you have to be alert that you actually get the pop-up, because I've had it happen before where I'm like doing a run and I'm like, oh yeah, I picked it up, and then I don't know, watching a YouTube video on the side, not paying attention, and the pop-up doesn't actually happen, and then I end the run like, wait, I missed something? What happened?
I see light through the
But I actually went to the treasure, I just didn't pick it up. Do I need to turn on? No, I don't. There's a lot of
What do we get in?
fiddling around the menuing,
Dwellings
because we
on the
want to turn
side.
off and on the
So let's go up.
auto aim and stuff. So normally in this area you'd have like a huge fight where you'd have to take out all the enemies before you could open a door, but we have a way around that.
What was that?
Where there's this precariously placed ledge over there, which is on the other side of the door, and then there's also this rope swing that I just used, which also placed kind of in a good spot. If we stand on top of this ledge, I need to turn this off.
Alright, everyone spread out.
And jump over here, rope swing, jump off. We should reach that ledge, but I had the wrong angle. Skip kind of like, I don't know why, but I've been messing it up lately. Thankfully it's, if I take out the like 3 guys on the balconies at the beginning and get to that rope swing out of combat, then get a pretty good checkpoint. No, that's not working. Okay. Can't get through here without getting into combat, which is pretty funny because normally you have to beat these enemies, but you can like leave here pacifist style without like fighting anyone. But it's faster to get into combat for a little bit just for the extra running speed. It's not as hard as I'm making it out to be, but
Sometimes physics are finicky.
yeah, it's like you have to have like a certain angle on the first jump, and then you have to have a certain angle on the second jump as well. Yes, there
Yes.
you go. So now we're out of the combat arena, which we're never supposed to be out of the combat arena with the enemies alive. And an added benefit is we can get them to shoot at us so we run faster. Thankfully, that's probably like the most annoying skip for me. When Nadine joins us. Come on. If some cases, if I get the treasure menu, I would just like, whatever, I'll just do the, like, to not do the restart checkpoint. But in that case, it's like really slow not to do it, so.
Just keeps getting more and more spectacular.
Damn it! They've blown the entrance.
That must have been the explosion we heard.
Gotta be another way in.
Right, now we're in this
In here,
temple
Nadine.
thing, which
Tastes great.
has some fun movement and a cool skip later on.
We need to catch up to the others.
I see him.
I'm gonna try and time my roll over there, because if you're not in an animation or like interruptible animation when that happens, then you get knocked over by the explosion. But if you're rolling or mid jump or something, then you don't care. There's a lot of underwater treasures as well in this chapter, which are kind of annoying because you have to be like you'd think you could be like a little bit above them and get them, but you kind of have to be like level with them or below sometimes.
What on earth is this?
And my favorite thing in this area is to roll into all the vases. Oh yeah, there's 2 treasures over here and like 5 steps from each other. I guess it makes sense. Like
Fraser, over here.
a treasure room.
Whoa.
Normally you wouldn't restart checkpoint there to get Nadine to get there faster,
Yeah.
but as we're using up all the time anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Normally you'd have to like wait for her to walk over
Through here.
and prompt you to get into that cinematic, but since we're getting all the treasures, we
Magnificent.
waste that time anyway. I don't want to surface here because sometimes when you get into water, there's like dialogue that plays, and a lot of times when there's dialogue playing and you're in water, they block the dive. So you know you want to just like hold circle as you fall in, and then you insta dive, then you can dive the entire time. You won't lose breath. Like, and I think they even set the breath at a certain value while you're doing that, like messing with the roots there. So even though I was underwater for like a long time, longer than I should have been able to, they like, oh, it wouldn't be really that nice if we killed you mid like triangle prompt because you dove too early.
Thanks for going first, eh?
You're welcome.
And important note, not to press triangle on AD, because if you press triangle on this camera prompt, she pushes you down. I don't want to do that. I don't know why you would, but
Here.
sometimes the instincts kick in, you just like see a triangle prompt, you gotta press it.
Oh, hello. Nice city.
I think another thing we didn't explain with the rope is that there's two ways of getting off it. You can either press X to like jump off it, or as I did here, I press circle to like drop off it. And it's a lot of times it's faster to press circle because pressing X kind of makes you do a jump, but you know, which caps your speed at a certain like sets it at a certain spot. But if you're swinging real fast and you press circle, then you maintain your like swinging speed as you fall off.
And you reduce airtime.
Okay.
You reduce airtime.
Does it?
Yeah, and you reduce airtime because you get like a little jump off the
Got water in
jump.
my ears.
I hate that.
But I wouldn't give her a towel.
Right, so now we're in this big room.
My God. Are you seeing this?
There's a fun skip at the top, but
At this
for a
point,
while we're just
I've
gonna
run out
be
of words.
running around,
Holy goddamn.
picking up stuff.
That's what.
So
What on earth
if
is
you want to jump in, Josh, that's fine.
Yeah, well, okay.
Place to
Well, I'll
hide
take a
now.
minute to tell you about the charity we're raising money for this event. You may have heard of them. It's Save the Children, which is a global organization helping to save children around the world. I've got some
find another way
little factoids I can read. In Ukraine and other conflict zones around the world, Save the Children works to provide mental health support to terrified children and their families. They support mothers with baby feeding and pregnant mothers with arrival kits. They set up child-friendly spaces where children can play and recover from traumatic experience they may have been through.
Gonna need that.
They establish safe passages to get food and other supplies to the most affected areas. And they provide child protection services to ensure children and their families remain together, and that separated children are reunited safely with their families and caregivers. So yeah, all of your money is going to an amazing cause. Thank you so much for it so far. And even small amounts make a big difference, because for just $10, it's enough to ensure that 4 children can get access to one of Save the Children's child-friendly places for a month. Yeah, thank you all for your amazing donations. Keep them coming. And we'd love to hit our crazy, lofty goals for this event. Yeah, thank you.
Right. So there's a few quirky things in this
Now we're
section.
getting somewhere.
Like there's a couple places in the game where like the game really wants you to grab a certain ledge,
Be more
and even
specific.
though you're not supposed to be able to jump to it, the game's like, yeah, whatever, I'll give you this jump.
Maybe it's because
One of
the
them is this
statue
like
enormous.
ledge on the side of the
I'll just now notice
the
Shiva's
top
got a
arm.
king cobra.
You think? There you go. Like oh, wait,
Well, there's gotta be more
I think
to
you really
this.
want to go there.
Just need to figure out what it
And then
is.
tricky jump over here. Okay. If you time it perfectly, then you just like land on this ledge here. I'll just do it normally. And there's a lot of ledges over there, so it's kind of tricky. Sometimes the game's like, oh, you want to grab this one? No? Okay.
Nice.
Like I said, those opening the menu like that doesn't matter. You use in-game time, but
Okay.
uh,
I'm
we
standing
like to
right
be
here.
fast either way.
I know. Okay, I better get a move on. No going back now.
I remember to put it on crushing. Pretty sure I did.
I don't know.
I'm still trying to put it in my muscle memory,
Oh, no.
like deciding which
Oh, good
parts I want
suggestion.
crushing for and which not, and actually remembering to turn it off and on.
Ah, that was a close one. Wow.
Because there's a slide over here
I
that's
can see my house from here.
slow, extremely slow actually on Explorer. It's kind of like jarring when you do it on Explorer, just how slow it is. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Oh. Huh. Well, that's cool. I did. I'll be right down. Ah.
Yes, I did remember to put it on crushing.
Thank you.
Sometimes you can get a roll out of that one. I don't know why it doesn't work always. Yeah, this jump, not supposed to be able to grab this ledge, but if I stand in the corner over there, there's like a little bit of rubble piled up, and you get raised up just a little bit, and just enough for the game to let you
Here we go.
grab that.
Okay, I've got
And
this one.
conveniently, that's where the treasure is, so we don't have to like go around and then come down, get the treasure, and then go back up.
See her lending a hand again. And here comes Shiva's drum.
I thought it was an hourglass.
It's an hour-shaped glass drum.
Come on, jump to the drum.
Thought it was an hourglass.
It's an hourglass-shaped drum. Oh shit, here we go. Hang on.
Okay, so coming up to the fun skip, it's kind of weird how it works. It's like a
And
combination
now
of
we'll
like,
turn the water on for this side.
I don't know. I don't even know how it works. It just works if you do it a certain method.
Look,
Oh, shall we?
It's a whole sequence.
Is that it? We'll find out in a moment.
So there's this like, there's these three statues with prisms that direct these colored light,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to like move them around to direct the light to the mirrors on the ceiling. There's one in the middle right there.
The light is shining on that statue across the way.
We can like make Nadine do some of the work for us, and something happens when we do that, where one of the statues is supposed to slide down a slope, but it just doesn't.
When the Hoysala want to protect
And-
something, they don't do it halfway.
Because it doesn't, it means we can be doing other stuff,
Now, what's all this then?
and you'll see. So we need to spin this
Here we
one.
go.
I think it's a prism.
Come on, it's finicky. Let go. Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get
Now, we tend to
we
the
need to
other
get
two.
specific dialogue. Just so I know that it's working. So when I grab this, hit this one, and then when I let go, Nadine be a deer.
Nadine, be a deer.
Way ahead of you.
And the Nadine be a deer dialogue prompts Nadine to spin the statue around to hit this mirror on this statue. And if it doesn't line up, we can just restart checkpoint and it should line up. Except sometimes the statue gets placed like like up there and it like bounces. It's weird. I think we probably just carry on. It should work. And then this statue over here,
That ledge doesn't
normally, as you can see, there's like this ledge is leaning. It's supposed to roll down the slope,
Good unless the
but if
light's
I
aimed over
go
here.
over here, our checkpoint, then it just doesn't. And Nadine always, like, because this statue's broken, so we're like, hey
Oh,
Nadine,
shit.
hold up this mirror, and I'll hold up the other statue in place so it doesn't roll down. But we have the handbrake on, so we can. What we can do in the meanwhile is we can go over here. Oh, this one is
You got
lined
that?
up. That's not great. I think we can save it though. If this doesn't work. Yeah.
There.
Okay, so. Please stop falling down. It doesn't always happen. Okay, here we go. There we go. Let's just do that again.
Okay, can you be a statue again?
And this should work even though... oh, okay, it's actually just like... there. Hopefully I'll make it in time. Please. Just made it. Okay.
Okay, that did something.
So we have the rope now attached in this little cutscene, and
Happening. We can't see from over here.
the game doesn't
Hold
like
still for just a sec.
do anything about it. You're not supposed to be able to do that, and thankfully it doesn't crash either through like
What's happening?
getting like
Oh,
confused by
put down the mirror
you
now.
grabbing a ledge and grabbing the rope at the same time.
Get ready.
Uh, so when this cutscene ends, oh, Nadine's supposed to be there, but she's not there. Don't worry about it. And then, oh, there she is. So we have the rope still attached, so we just get launched over here. And normally it's supposed to be like a bunch of enemies, but we're too fast for them. So, and you can actually like, if you do it like the way it's supposed to work and it doesn't break, then you can even reach like the next attach point for the rope and like do that even faster. It saves like a couple of seconds, but you could like
Don't talk to me.
you don't even like touch the ground. Just
Was I not clear?
go on the rope and then jump on the ledge to enter the area.
Smell.
Pretty-
I'm sorry.
pretty fun.
I haven't exactly had access to running water in so
Another thing in this part is normally
you
like
could have brought her with you.
you just walk this part slowly behind everyone. You're the last one to reach the door at the end.
She also
But
tried to kill Nathan
conveniently,
and I
this
many times.
soldier on the right
You two
He,
tried to do
uh,
the same to her.
slows
but
down a couple of
that's
times
not
so
the
we can
point.
get in
The
front of
point
him
is
and get him to
that
push
the
us.
second we turn our backs,
And
there will be a knife in there.
usually, like we didn't
Hear
think
every word you're saying.
I know.
it really helped
I
much, but
Trust her.
if I can get in front of him and
You know
just
what?
place myself in
Fine.
the
I guess I'm
in
just
the
a
right
little
spot,
bit irked that we are walking away
then
with nothing.
Nadine is gonna push
guess you
Sam
know
to the
that,
side. Oh yes,
right?
Sam is here. And if I place myself correctly, I can get in front of them
Real classy, thank you.
and I start walking
place,
faster. So
children.
there's like a
More that came from.
this is the way I think about it is that when Asav reaches the door, he says this,
Just hurry up.
and once he says that, normally you speed up. But I think the trigger is just like loading with Nadine and Sam somewhere, and you reach it just like whenever he says the line. But if you can get to like in line with Nadine and Sam earlier, then you can just like walk faster earlier. And now we have the extreme version of the puzzle from earlier on.
What now?
This one can be a bit tricky because I want to move these rings in a particular order to like minimize like the how much they affect each other. And sometimes you get lucky, it's random. It varies how much you have to align this last one, depending on just like
You
the
feel
parity of
okay?
it.
So Sam was in Uncharted 4. He's Nathan Drake's brother.
Ganesh.
Uh,
Quite an obstacle placed in
so,
my path.
as I said earlier, Nadine is our enemy in Uncharted 4. So they don't get along or all that well.
Yeah.
Shut up and watch. He yielded.
We don't ever get to find out what happened there.
What are you doing?
Oh, I guess we do. They got handcuffed.
Ah, yes.
He yielded.
He yielded. So the game like tricks you here with fake lockpicking. So for Chloe, can't actually unlock this until after the water starts flowing. And then for Nadine, you can't actually unlock hers until after you go underwater. But the game gives you like, I couldn't even find the spot. Okay. Usually there's a spot, but like nothing happens if you hit it. And thanks to the dual sense of vibration, like there's a lot of there's a few like audio cues I would use on the PS4, but like it's almost like a sixth sense, the dual sense, like the vibration, because I don't even have to think about like, oh yeah, this happened. I just like feel vibration and I restart checkpoint or something. And we're supposed to dodge these things, these falling platforms, but you actually just have to like slightly adjust to the left and you're good. Wow, long load screen.
All that time in a soft care and you couldn't get any intel on the bias?
Well, I tried.
So now we're in chapter 8. This is everyone's favorite chapter.
All that time in a
That's
soft care and you couldn't
a
get any intel
sarcasm,
on the bias?
by the way. There's like a part of this chapter that's like just tedious, but
Trusted me enough to believe I was an expert in all this voice solid crap.
all good. There's also fun stuff in this chapter. A little nice checkpoint restart there just to bring us a bit forward. That's an example of one of the like crawl spaces where you can roll. I don't know what the distinction is. Sometimes the game just lets you. I mean, some of them have like special animations, like, but some of them don't and don't let you do anything. Another trophy. Oh, didn't get the line. I don't know why, but sometimes she's supposed to say cannonball there because she like does the cannonball, but sometimes she just doesn't say the line.
It was.
Yeah, this is a pretty good time for messages.
Yeah, okay, lovely. In that case, I would just like to take a minute to remind everyone that we have, once again, we have 2 streams running this event. We've got our beautiful in the venue stream 2, featuring a bunch of fun runs. It will run about 12 hours a day, but it's starting today, coming up. And I can tell you about some incentives we have on that stream. On that stream, we have a totally accurate battle simulator run. I don't know if you've seen this game, but it's quite funny. A bunch of like, you spawn a bunch of like armies to fight stuff. But you can choose, for the last 2 levels of the showcase, you can choose which army the runner will use. They'll either use guns or wizards. Those are the 2 choices. Currently, guns is winning with $15, and wizards has none. So if you would prefer magic to weapons, then you can get donations in for that. We also have a good old Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team run. We have 3 different naming incentives. We've got, you can name the Skitty that is used, you can name the Squirtle that's used, and you can name the whole team that's used. So get your donations in for that. No names have been suggested yet. They're all sitting at $0. So if you get in early and with your name suggestion, you may just start a train for that name. So if you want to name one of the Pokemon for that run, get your donations in. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Remember that Stream 2 exists and it's coming up soon.
Right. Yeah, Stream 2 is good for like all those inconvenient marathon run games. As a runner of Final Fantasy X,
That was close.
you know,
You in one piece?
It's hard to like
Go team!
expect a
Come on.
game getting into any
We're exposed up
marathons,
here.
but
You know, I feel so much safer with her around.
Nadine, see if there's something up there we can use.
I can do it.
No, we're good. Come on, China, I'll give you a boost.
All right, just trying to be chivalrous.
Just watching them.
probably like the most niche category in
Got it.
all the series. So it's pretty fun that this one got in. There's only one other person who runs this, so maybe there's somebody out there
That
who's
should
like
work.
fancies a bit of all treasures.
Got it.
Come on up.
Go ahead, Sam.
It's a good game,
Age before
casually
beauty.
too.
You're
Yeah.
too kind.
No. She's just worried I'd kick it over and leave you down there.
Right.
Combat is
But
fun
I
and
don't
it's
have-
fluid.
I wouldn't really leave him.
Yeah, well, play nicer.
Oh,
Sam,
coming up is
see your way
a pretty
forward?
fun
Yeah, sorta.
treasure.
We'll definitely need
In
your
each
grappling
of the
hooks.
games, there's like
On my
an Easter
way.
egg treasure thing. In the first 3 games, like the counter doesn't actually count it, so in the first 3 games you have to like
Throw Nadine
end the game with
Have a better
one more
idea.
treasure than the counter says. But in this one, it does count it. And I don't remember them all. In the first game, it's like a Jack and Dexter precursor orb.
Scouting ahead, Sam.
In Uncharted 4, it's a Firefly pendant from
There's a cave
The
up
Last
there.
of Us.
Might cut through to the trench.
Oh, it's, yeah. I spoke too soon. It's coming up, but it's coming up in like 3 minutes.
Going first.
This is a different one. This is the only treasure that doesn't lose time RTA.
Why don't you go ahead?
And I found out yesterday that you can restart checkpoint here and it's faster.
Might cut through to
Because
the
normally you're
trench.
supposed to like wait for Sam.
I take it she's going first.
Why don't you go ahead? Leave the rope for me.
You got
But yeah,
it.
you can like go over and then get in and come back and you're still in time.
Speaking of the treasures, there is a pickup in
Next time,
Last of
bring
Us
your
Part
own
2,
bloody rope.
which is Nathan Drake's ring,
Right, yeah.
Okay.
which he loses in the desert. I think cold air.
Yeah. Does he actually, or does...
He does,
Okay.
as far as I remember.
Can never remember.
Yeah, because Elena's like, here's the ring,
Right.
swap.
Put this on. Okay, so we have a fight. Pretty like normal strategy is just like
Star for you.
we need to get a gun and then shoot that. Usually there's a guy over there, but somewhere else. Oh, there he is. And we do a little lap around the area. Shoot the guys. You have auto aim or lock on aim, so it's convenient. Nadine's still good at fist fighting. That's good to know. Okay, almost got stun locked by that guy.
So Nadine's fist is stronger than a bullet.
Nadine,
Yeah,
have a word?
say that. I mean, it's pretty. Like, you could say that, but it's like, yes, it's just empirically true. Here's probably like the trickiest checkpoint to hit, because we want to put it on crushing, because there's like a lot of
Go
sliding
first.
Thanks.
right here, but the checkpoint is like, as far as I know, like when you attach the rope to
We're nearly to the
the
round gun.
hookup
Be
spot,
long now.
and if you do it too early, then you have to do the entire fight again. So let's just be safe, okay?
Whoa!
Sliding over here like so much faster. On crushing.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, shit! Oh, is that trip really necessary?
God.
And over here is another like, well, we go from like the least convenient checkpoint,
Yeah, it was fine until
To
Sam
the
made me
most
kick to God's
convenient.
balls. Where are you?
because
By the radio
normally
tower.
over here we're supposed to like
Easy way up.
climb up on this ledge above, but there's a treasure, so we just drop down, restart checkpoint, and it actually brings us forward in time. Like if I would have not gotten the treasure and just
That doesn't sound
climbed up there
good.
and waited, it would have taken longer for me to get the like rope prompt. So there's some like we use this is like a feature that's prominent in the entire series. Is like using restart checkpoints to
Thanks,
help
you
out
two.
with things.
Well done.
Not bad. Considering it was our idea.
Okay, so this spot is like prime time for reading messages because we're just be pushing this cart around and doing stuff. So,
Hello.
hello.
Was that me?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you
Hello.
can go on for a while.
Oh, go for a while. Sick. Okay. In that case, I told you about Stream 2 incentives. I'll love to tell you about Stream 1 incentives we have. I mentioned the worms' voices earlier, where you can choose the accent that the worms were talking. You got Angry Scots, French Lover, or Yorkshire Tykes. But you can also name the worms. You can name all of the worms. They'll use 6 worms in their team. So get your names in for that, and the top 6 names of that incentive we will use to name the worms. So even if your name doesn't win the bid, it can still be used in the run. You can also pick the entire team name for Worms Armageddon. You can. It's a 16 character max, so you can come up with some hilarious names. But the next incentive that we have coming up is the color of the Midnight Mauve, or the Final Fantasy 13 run that's coming up. You can choose the color of the dress that the runners will wear for most of the run. We have a lovely selection of colors. We have rose, deep blue, orange, and white. Now, which color do you think is winning?
Okay with this, sure.
Ready when you are.
What were the options again?
Rose, deep blue, orange, and white.
Have you ever known?
Oh shit! Sorry.
Rose?
Rose, that's correct.
Yes.
The deep blue, orange, and white all have actually literally 0, and Rose has $123.45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You did.
So yeah, if you don't like Rose, apparently osskari does. But if you don't like Rose, get donations in for the other colours, and you can choose the dress that they use. And also we have the big incentive for Defeat Aero Knight. So the runners will face the super boss Aero Knight in the run. We need $2,000 for that, and we're currently at 304. So yeah, get donations in, and we can change the run.
There we go. Old switcheroo.
Alright, we just come to the end of this. We gotta push the cart one more time. It's yeah, it's annoying to get this part like 90 minutes into the run, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Wait.
Okay, ready.
Well,
You got it.
you could do that, but we like to go fast.
Arms away.
Damn. Nice physics.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Let's go.
All right, come on up.
The box does not bounce, but the statue
Your
does.
turn, Miss Ross.
Yeah, statues. So I think that's like a frame rate thing. I don't remember that happening that much on PS4. So maybe that's the thing I need to look into. There are a couple of like weird differences in this game over the PS4 versions that are like aren't related to frame rate. I feel like some of the
Nearly
there's a fight near the beginning that's like normally super
Sam,
consistent, but on the
can use my
PS5
rope.
it's like a little annoying sometimes.
Part of the rope club. I'm on it.
But mostly it's the same. Here's a little Greg. What do we get? Oh no, our chances are dismal. That's not good. I didn't actually ask it a question, so I don't know what that means, but
I hope it's not the run.
yeah, well.
Maybe it was too late to answer our question of will we get the jump earlier.
Right, yeah. This part's pretty cool. Normally you're supposed to like, you're supposed to like, you know, either stealth or fight enemies, and you need to shoot 2 rockets. Might be more actually on higher difficulties, but on Explorer it's 2 rockets at least into the helicopter. And when we do that, then you can get like a rope attach point. That's how that works. And because we're an Explorer, we can just like, I don't know, I don't care. These guys are trying to do something, and it looks sketchy, but it's not. Hey, Nadine. Here's our second RPG. And then we can attach a rope, and as soon as we get lifted off, we can restart checkpoint, and then that brings us a bit forward. Well, that fight looks way different on like if you run like crushing or something. Looks way different, but pretty nice and easy on Explorer.
Would you probably mention that Nadine was the bad guy of the last game, of course, but she owned the company Shoreline, which we are fighting against now.
Yeah, this guy took over. His name's Orca. They don't mention it ever. It's in the subtitles, but the only reason I know it is because he's a playable character in the multiplayer in UC4. Okay.
I think it was the second
I
man.
make my own roads.
Yeah, he was like her right-hand man or something.
Sam, did you
Oh
wanna
yes, I
drive?
love this driving.
Too bad. Buckle up, Buttercup.
This driving section has a lot of like just random collision that can
Look, this isn't my car.
do this and even like spin you around and stuff. It's not great. I should have taken another path that doesn't has a lower chance of doing that, but
We're gaining on it.
it's all good.
Slow down.
And then we're gonna get ambushed by some motorbikes. Thank you, Sam. Oh wow, he did it right away. So one of the guys on the back of the motorbike is scripted to try to jump on the car. Only one of them. And as long as nobody's done it, then they will try to do it. But random, it's pretty random. It's kind of, I don't know how to control it, but thank you, game, for doing that. You can, like, if you don't give them a chance to jump on, then you can get through here without them jumping on. Because, God, the game is just having a great time. While the guy's on the car slows down for some reason. So it's better to get like not have a guy jump on there, but it's hard to control. Normally I have to wait for the train, but this time I had to catch up with the train, so that's good.
All right? Didn't know you cared. He's got the task.
Nice climb up
Hey,
here. Treasure.
catch where
Should
they
be
put that giant crate
2 more
near the
treasures
engine.
on the
Right,
train,
That's our next stop then.
and that should be it. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did.
Shit.
That would be fun to like go through this entire thing and be missing a thing.
Let's try the other side. Whoa, easy
So-
now.
If you played Uncharted 2, then you'll remember that train. That part was so good that they did another one over here. And
Okay, good.
this one is also pretty good.
Progress.
So to begin with, we're just gonna be climbing over
Out here.
everything, and then in a little bit,
Oh shit.
once we reach a
Company's
certain
here.
part of the
Soft
train,
But
we
we still
wanna
have the element of surprise.
jump off into a car and ride that along the train for a while.
Drive.
And
Hey.
yeah, the car just like goes up the train a little bit faster than when we're running. Oh, okay. Nothing to see here. Come on. Okay. So then when we get in here, restart checkpoint, we get a car on either side. Looks like we're going on right side.
You got any good news?
And okay. You want to jump in either the driver's seat or the passenger seat, because then you get a faster animation. And I don't know why, but like Nadine can shoot here. Okay, there she goes, but she doesn't really like to shoot. Sometimes there's like just a bunch of guys like shooting the car and making it blow up, and she's just chilling. So we want to get up to the open car over here in front of this one. And jump off, please. Okay. Oh, thank you. That's perfect. And there's another checkpoint in here, which brings us. So this entire part is about like getting up the train and then like finding a state that we want. So like when you get the checkpoint in there, it's like, okay, we get a checkpoint and then we restart the checkpoint, then we put the game in a pretty favorable state. Get the car to us. And we actually have to take that car because we can't go off the train anymore. And here's the lock-on aim in full effect. But I actually want to turn it off now because there is a heavy inside of this car. But we actually don't want to shoot him, we want to shoot these. Oh, that was fast. We want to shoot the gas canisters in there. Coming up is the last treasure. Hopefully we have all the other ones.
All 68.
68, yes. Unfortunate number. Should have been one more. And this part's kind of annoying. Because you want to be like jumping, go a little bit faster, but there's so much stuff to climb on. I went past the treasure. Why did I do that? It's talking too much. Over here. And then we can do, hopefully do a little jump over here to reach. Nope. Okay. So let's, please. Okay, there we go. So let's just check real quick. Okay, we have 68. Nice. The run is valid. And now we just need to reach the end of the game. Reach the front of the train and then do some more stuff. The more annoying driving and stuff.
All the sweeter when we bollocks it all up. I think we're almost there. Won't budge.
Let me help. No, this is really heavy.
I can imagine. And now we're reaching the front of the train.
You coming?
And there's a bomb in there, but we can't get in there, so we have to do some more stuff.
That's definitely the engine.
There's a skip you can do, like, with this, like, shimmying part over there. You can, like, jump into it and do it faster, but it's really sketchy, so I never do it.
It seems really inconvenient that everything is welded shut. It's almost as if you don't want anyone in the engine room.
Right, yeah. So here's the, well, there's two more times we need to drive. This one is annoying. This is the part where I got rotated around 100 degrees once, 180 degrees. Also 100 degrees once-ish. But a lot of, like, you do a lot of bouncing around. And the car can be hard to catch if you go into too steep of a slide. That can happen, right? Okay, that was lucky. I could have easily, like, careened me into the rock face there. Okay, that was pretty good. Oh, okay. So there's the... That's what happens if you go too fast and you jump out of the car, you get this roll, which sometimes is good. I did it earlier in the game, in Chapter 4, when I, like, rolled into... next to a box, but if you're able to press triangle or something, on something, then you can cancel the tumbling animation, but otherwise you just, like... Yeah, let's fight, you know, whatever. I did it so fast that they, like, the dialogue had to catch up, because there's like a line of dialogue that I used to see if I killed all the enemies. But I did it too quick. Last piece of driving. This is usually okay, but can mess you up. And then we're just into the last boss, which is kind of funny. It's just, I mean, boss fights in Uncharted usually don't go hand in hand. Lazarowitch from 2 is kind of the exception, but even that isn't, like, great. this fight is just like a couple of punches sandwiched by some cinematics that we're skipping.
Can't
So
believe that worked.
it's
Oh my god, the bridge.
it's
Shit.
kind of like jarring sometimes. For the first part, we can just walk behind the saw while he's occupied with Nadine. And for the first part. For the second part, usually he's like punching both of us, but if I get in his face, then he just does 2 punches at me and doesn't mess with Nadine, and it is faster, because, yeah, sometimes he does that thing. Annoying. Okay, that's fine. You can do that in this part as well if you like get in his face, then sometimes he doesn't do the like fake out thing, just like punches you twice, or tries to punch you twice, and then you just get past it. The game, for this part of the game, wants you to be like trying to head over there to rescue Nadine, but I like to just hang out over here and you know, just chilling, and then you just get over here. It's easy. You can even like go the opposite direction, and the game's like, okay, you should probably just end up there anyway. So. One more part of volley of punches.
Looks so unassuming.
Not anymore. Okay, now we just need to escape the train, so Mr. Time Master, get ready. get into position.
Smart bitch! Go! Get up! Go, go, go!
Oh, are we gonna make it? I think we're gonna make it. And when I skip the final cinematic this time. Time. Oh, we made it.
I did my job.
Yes. And since we use in-game time, so that's my time. Actually, world record for this category. But 68 treasures. But I mean, there's a caveat to that because we split the categories on FPS, and nobody's run this category on PS5. So automatic world record. But it's still fun. I'm not gonna play the credits because DMCA, but yeah, that was Uncharted Lost Legacy, All Treasures. Thank you so much to ESA for selecting this. Like I said earlier, it's the most niche category pretty much in the series, so nice to get it out there. Thank you, Minnie and Rob, for hanging out.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, everyone in the audience, for waking up. Right, so shout outs to the community. If you want to learn any of the games in the series, you can find any of the games on speedrun.com and click the Discord button. But yeah, you guys got anything?
You can find me at my username, twitch.tv/my username.
Yeah, it's on screen.
No, nothing else to add, really.
Right. All right. So that's it for us. Thank you so much.
Thank
Over
you so
to
much.
Josh.
Thank you. Thank you, osskari, and I'm glad you actually got all the treasures. And don't
Yes.
downplay a world record.
No,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that amazing run of Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, all treasures. Coming up next, we have Command & Conquer 2, no, Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 by Henki. Don't go anywhere. Of course I messed it up.